channel and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, please stick around, don't be a stranger, and consider subscribing. If this is not your first time here, you already know the drill. You better be subscribed, honey. So guys, today is going to be like a really short video for you guys because I have a few things that I need to work on for Celine Jean Boutique. So I want to go ahead and get all of that stuff knocked out so I can remain on track for my grand opening, guys. And I will announce that date here shortly for you. But guys, when it comes to my weight loss journey, because I don't really post nearly as much as I used to when I first began my journey, because there's just so many other things that I be focusing on. So I really don't post, you know, when it comes to my weight loss journey. I don't post like I used to, not nearly as much as I used to, because I used to post like all the time, multiple times a day on social media. So a lot of that has just fallen off. I don't do that anymore. And when I do post, I have, you know, people asking me questions like, how did I start, what do I eat, the kind of exercises that I do, things like that. Because when I started my weight loss journey, should have been around 18 months ago, give or take a month or so. When I started my journey, I've lost 7 sizes since I've started my journey. And I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, losing weight was the easiest part. Losing weight was easy for me. Losing weight now is still easy for me. Say if I want to, you know, if I'm going to do something and I say, oh, I need to lose 5-10 pounds by this date so I can be able to, you know, wear this or do this or whatever, it's easy for me. For me, losing weight was the easy part. For me, losing weight is easy. Losing weight has been one of the most easiest things I've done in my entire life once I was in a place to where I could lose weight. I want to talk to you guys for a few minutes about something that a lot of people don't talk about. Well, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it when it comes to weight loss journey. When I started my journey, even when I was trying to lose weight prior to me actually starting my journey, this was something that I've never heard anyone discuss. I never even knew it was a thing to even look at before I started my weight loss journey and when I got serious about it. But guys, I don't know anyone who has lost weight and been successful at it without addressing those underlying factors going on in their lives. You know, me personally and everyone that I know personally who has had issues with losing weight, there has all been, you know, with all of us, there have been underlying factors, male and female alike. Everyone that I have met via social media, you know, when I put it out there publicly, when I started my weight loss journey, because I've met a lot of people via social media. I have so many inboxes and emails. And if you inbox me or email me, guys, I'm really not ignoring you. A lot of the times, I don't see the message, and when I do see it, it may be like a month or so after you sent it. But when I do see the messages, because I get so many, I do respond, but I'm not ignoring anyone, so I don't want you guys to feel that way. Especially if we're not connected on social media, because if you send me a message, it doesn't go to my general box, it goes to like those other boxes that I get, you know, like on Instagram and all that stuff, and Facebook. When people message you and you're not friends, it doesn't go to your general box, it goes to those other boxes. And my brain does not always tell me to check those feeds all the time to see your messages, but when I do think about it, I check it, I see it, I respond back. But anyway, let me go ahead into what I was discussing. But with those underlining things, I don't know one person who has had issues losing weight that didn't have that underlining factor there that they needed to get in control first. With me, my underlining factor was depression. Guys, I was so depressed for a long time, and I'm talking about years of like literally being depressed, literally not caring for and loving myself the way that I should have cared for and loved myself. You know, not being in a healthy relationship, not having people around me who really loved me and cared about me and wanted the best for me. You know, and just that depression, guys. I had days that I felt like I was literally floating, like I wasn't living, I was just existing from day to day to day to day. That's it. I didn't really have a life, because I was depressed. The only thing I knew how to do, I knew how to put on that face like I was okay, but I wasn't okay. And because I was so depressed and because I wasn't okay, I wasn't really seeing myself for what I looked like on the outside. Because when you are depressed and you have things going on, sometimes when you look in the mirror at yourself, you see who you want to see and who you think you are. You're really not looking at yourself and looking at who you really are. You know, if that makes sense. If there's people, you know, here watching this video who has lived through it and who has dealt with it, you get it and you understand what I'm saying. So guys, I had to first get my depression under control. And that started with, you know, realizing, Constance, you are not okay and you need help, girl. You can't do this by yourself. You've tried it and it's not working out for you, and you can't do it by yourself. You can't. So first I had to find a therapist that was going to work for me, because guys, when you are looking for a therapist, you can't hook up with someone and, you know, be like, this is going to be my therapist because they are highly recommended by X, Y, and Z. Because the therapy that may work for someone and a therapist that may work for someone else, even if, you know, you could be friends with someone and they see a therapist, but a therapist that may work for someone else may not work for you. So the first thing that I had to do is I had to find a therapist that worked for me. Because what I've seen in these times, you know, you have a lot of professionals, not all, I don't want to say, and I don't want to say a lot, I don't want to say that, but you have some professionals who are more focused on getting medications in your system instead of really helping you get down to the root of your problem. And that's not what I was going to allow with me. I wasn't going to take not one medication. And I know when I first started with my journey on finding a therapist that was going to work for me, because it took a little while. When I was looking for a therapist, it took a little while, and I actually saw 4 individuals before I found who was going to work for me. Because I wanted to be at a point, to guys, I wanted to feel every emotion, every setback, I wanted to feel it. Every feeling of pain, I wanted to feel it. Every feeling of happiness, I wanted to feel it. I wanted to feel everything. I didn't want to be taking medications to mask what I was feeling, because I wanted to be able to practice what I was learning in therapy in my real life. I wanted to put those things in practice and in play in my real life. I wanted to make sure I had the tools to feel these things, and when I feel these things, I wanted to make sure that I had the tools to work through what I was feeling. And I didn't want to feel like I had anything in my system that was going to compromise me being able to work through this stuff. I didn't want to put a mask on anything. I wanted to feel it. And the reason why I wanted to feel it is because I wanted to know that when I was at a place, when I was okay with it, when I was over it, I know I got over it and that I was okay with it, and I did the work myself, that there was nothing in me that prevented me from doing the work myself. And then when I, was getting to that point to where I was more able to handle what I was feeling on the inside of me, and being able to process those feelings and actually deal with what I was feeling in a healthy way. Because I'm gonna tell you guys, when I really started seeing things and seeing people and seeing my life at that point for what it was, I look back at so many things that I did and that I said, and I was like, oh shit, Constance. But my feelings were raw, they were true, and that was my emotion, and that's how it came out. I don't handle things now the way that I handled them back then, but because it's all a learning curve. No matter how old we get, it's all a learning curve. But I've learned to process those emotions and deal with them, and in doing so, I was able to get that motivation from within myself that I needed to be successful in my weight loss journey. Because if you have so many things going on in your life and you aren't at a place where you can process it and where you can feel it and understand it and work through all that stuff, you're not going to be motivated enough to successfully go through a weight loss journey, guys. You're not. So you're going to have to get to the root of what's going on down on the inside with you. Because there's a reason why you're overweight. Me, like I said, mine was that depression. And what that depression caused me to do was sleep all the time when I didn't have insomnia, when I wasn't up worrying and having insomnia and couldn't sleep for days at a time. But when I could, I slept all the time. I was always in my bed. I didn't want to do anything with my children. I ate all the time. Food was like my rescue. Even though I wasn't even hungry, guys, there were times where I would eat so much and it felt like I couldn't breathe. Which is crazy. But, that's what it was. I felt like I couldn't breathe, but I was in that, depressive state. And that's all. Sometimes we look at, and even being adults, it's so many things that we feel like we don't have any control over, and we just can't because we don't have those tools that we need to successfully do things. But that's why I had to get in therapy, guys. And when I got in therapy, I realized that it was okay to go to therapy as a black woman. Sometimes in the black community, guys, therapy can be looked at as being a sign of weakness, and just the stereotype around therapy in the black community sometimes can be so negative. And honey girl, I don't care what race you are, what color you are, what nationality you are. If you need therapy, baby, you need therapy. There are some things that you cannot deal with alone. I don't care who says that they go through whatever alone and deal with whatever alone. You can't deal with everything by yourself. And that's one thing that I had to realize. You can't deal with everything by yourself. You can't be everything to everybody. You need help as well. And I had to get to a point where I had to realize and accept that. And when I did, like I said, I was okay. When I got down to the root of why I was so depressed and fixed that and removed all of that stuff from my life, then I could focus on me in my weight loss journey. So guys, get down to the root of what's going on in your life. There's a reason why you're overweight. Get down to the root of it. If it's people, in relationships, if it's a career, whatever it is, you need to make changes to slowly remove that out of your life. If it's a career, replace that career. There's one thing that I've seen during COVID that I have appreciated during COVID is I've made changes when it comes to my personal finances and to my career that was the best for me and my family. Changes that made me happy. Changes that not only made me a better person, but a better mother. And I appreciate those changes. One thing that COVID has done for me is, made me look long and hard at relationships that I was surrounding myself with. And I appreciate that because, when you go through things and times get hard, you see who's going to stick and who's not. And who isn't going to stick, let them go. Because that could be, one of those underlining issues. So child, let it go. Don't chase out the things that are not going to serve you. These jobs, guys, something can happen to you today. You could be so depressed and so overwhelmed and so overworked that, God forbid, you do something to yourself or you get hurt and can't work. They're going to replace you just like that. So get to a point to where you're okay with making those moves or those transitions to something better. That's going to serve you, especially if it's, one of those underlining things. And like I said, with those relationships, history means nothing if there's no loyalty and there's no real love there. You may have history and years with someone, and it could be a marriage, a personal relationship that's not marriage, like girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, whatever. It could be a friendship. It could even be family relationships. History means nothing if there's not love and loyalty and respect there. And if it's draining you, and it's not, and if that relationship is not serving you and making you the best you. So get down to those underlining things and be honest and truthful with yourself. Do the work to remove those, underlining factors so you can start your weight loss journey and be successful at it. Guys, you get one life to live. Why live it being unhappy? Because when I tell you guys, I refuse to live another moment of my life unhappy, and just, overweight and doing things that are not going to serve me and my purpose and my children. I'm just not going to do that. So get to those underlining things, guys. Handle them. If you need therapy, get therapy. Don't worry about what anyone else says about it, the negativity, because if someone really loves and cares about you, they're not going to be negative if you discuss with them that you're not okay and that you need whatever to be okay. So just get to those underlining things, guys, and be honest with yourself. Work it out so you can start your weight loss journey and maintain your weight loss journey and be successful at your weight loss journey, guys. And that's this video, guys. I love you guys to life. I love you guys to pieces. And I'll see you in my next video, my loves.
Maybe I've been going over